Good morning, people. You have to forgive me. I'm driving, but I just, had some things on my mind. So this weekend, my family and I went to see the Harriet Tubman biopic. I'm assuming it's a biopic, but anyway. And before we left to go, we saw several posts and different things about why you going to see that. And Cynthia Erivo, the lady who played Harriet, she done all her negative tweets about African Americans and different things like that. And they got this movie where the black man is the bounty hunter. Excuse me. The black man is the bounty hunter, and there's a white savior and all this other different stuff. Okay. So, of course, hearing that and assuming my people are not crazy, forgive me, I'm skeptical, but we go, because we had already bought tickets, so we go see the movie. My opinion, it was a very important movie to see. And it was a good movie. In respect to what the purpose of the movie was. It was to tell her story. And it did. It told of somebody who went through atrocities that we could not even comprehend as much as we would like to think we have. Who managed to not only save themselves, but feel compelled enough in spirit and mind and body to go and save others. We get home. Excuse me. And it's another post about, I'm sick of these slave movies. Why we got to keep reminding ourselves of that? That's over. Let's move forward. Something to that effect. Okay. The level of ridiculousness of that, I'm lying. I was going to say I'm not going to get into that. To a degree, I am. Our complete inability, not inability, because it's not a lack of ability, unwillingness to acknowledge those of us who don't or want to acknowledge all of the things that were done. Those of us who say that's over, we passed that, we not slaves no more, obviously are not alive. You're in a coma in 2019. But aside from that, let me break this down to a different way. The reason you are here and able to say all the idiotic things you say, and I'm sorry, your opinion is your opinion, you have the right to it, absolutely, is because somebody was willing to take a chance and risk their lives so that you could get here. Because I don't know how you thought you got here without people like her or others who you want to erase. I don't even comprehend that. The reason you're here is because your great, a whole bunch of other greats kept doing things to ensure that you got here. Like having more kids so that you could get here. But you don't want to erase that, because it would be erasing you. It's the same premise. When you look around and see us as people buying $100,000 cars and $3 or $4 million homes and all that, it's because people were willing to make a sacrifice for you without even knowing who you were. And you want to erase them from your life because what they went through made you so uncomfortable, or because that happened then. But the only thing that stops it from happening now is what they did, the sacrifices that they made then. So to say, let's forget that it's over, have you been outside? Have you watched a news? Have you looked at Facebook? Have you looked at a newspaper? Have you done anything? Obviously, our fight is so far from over. But there are people who, again, suffered atrocities we could not understand, who risked it all so that you could act like something is not happening, or this does not pertain to or affect you. I do not understand it. How about this? My grandmama, I guess she was about 5'2", something like that. This is my mother's mother. Was one of the strongest women I ever saw. She bought her house. The dam would rise. She built. All of the strength that she had in her trickled down to me. If I erased what she did, even in the smallest, I'm erasing the parts of me that make me me. If my great or anybody had to fight off somebody doing something to them or cross a bridge or whatever they did, the fact that I'm able to get up right now and drive in my car that I bought and go to work, I'm erasing what they did to ensure that I could do that. And the fact that anybody would think that anybody who made a sacrifice so that you could be you, that should be erased. I can't with you. I cannot with you. Now, off of that, going back, the movie was important to share, not just with grown people who don't seem to get it. Because, just sidebar, I actually worked with a lady who told me slavery was a myth, that was fake, it was made up. And she was 65 at the time. I'm going to move right on past that. But we have children out here who are living lives not understanding what your life cost. What it costs somebody for you to be able to do some of the stupid stuff you do or some of the awesome things you do. You assumed it was just as simple as mama made a sacrifice or daddy made a sacrifice or you had to struggle. And they don't get it. So it's important that they understand that. And they still, from this one movie, are not going to get it. Which, of course, means it's imperative and it's your responsibility to ensure that they do get it. Because if you look at the White House today, not even just the White House, we can stop making this be a single person issue. If you look at our governments and governmental bodies and police bodies and all of these people that are supposed to be protecting us and taking care of us, and our interests are what's important. And if you see the lengths that they are going to ensure that that is not the case, then for you to not take your kids to say, this was a sacrifice that was made then, but you also might want to tell them, this is a place that whether you believe it or not, we could end up right back here. So stop acting like that's an impossibility. Because what? Because you went to school and got a degree? Where you owe somebody $17 billion? Or even if your parents were lucky enough to have paid for it, you think that piece of paper makes you... How many of our ancestors had not school education, because it wasn't a whole bunch of them that had that, I don't care what color you were, but abilities and skills and inventions that were stolen, that all this stuff you all want to forget. All of this stuff you want to push under the rug and act like it didn't happen. The reason why we know so much of what people have done is coming out, that our people, cell phones, the internet, our place in that, how much we invented these things. The reason why you know this is because somebody invented, one of your people invented a medium to ensure that you could know it. And somebody made a sacrifice that you would have access to that. You need to make sure that your children and my children go see this, but not just go see a movie for entertainment. That they understand where we came from in this, where we could be again in this, and the importance of this. And all you young sisters out there who may or may not see this, who think your whole life is wrapped around what you able to shake in the street or whatever that is, there's so much more to you. That little bitty 5 foot tall lady's blood is running through your veins as easy and as deep as it is in mine. Honey, there's so much more out there for you. Be so much more. Because I'm pretty sure she didn't make that sacrifice, so this is what you could do. But then again, she also made the sacrifice so you can make a choice. Just choose better for yourself. The song at the end of the movie, and this is my last point, it's called Stand Up. Cynthia Erivo, I have to give it to her, whatever she feels about us, and though she probably didn't feel anything in that, maybe or maybe not, she killed that song. And that song, the words in that song, it's very that. It's what we should be doing. It's stand up. She gonna take her people with you. At some point, every single day when you look over, find somebody that you can take with you. We're not gonna get nowhere if we're not together in something. And if you can only take one person, if everybody only chose to take one person with us, one person to move in the way you move, one person that you can help move up, you'd be amazed at what we could do. While we looking at all of these other ethnicities who come together and get things done, yeah, we are just as capable, and I just wish we were as willing. So, be blessed, my beauties. Stand up.